So do you need experience to go and live and work in Australia? The short answer we will come on to in this video, so stay tuned. So I get this question a lot on my social medias and stuff because I feel like a lot of people are confused. They kind of like the idea of moving to Australia, but they kind of think that you need a job in a specific role if you want to go and work there, or you might need a specific skill in order to go and work in Australia. The short answer to that is no, you don't. You definitely don't need any specific skills to go and work in Australia, but we're going to go into more detail in this video. The reality of it is you can have no experience. You could have worked no jobs ever and you can still get a job in Australia. To be honest, when you're on a visa, on a working holiday visa like I was, there's no limits. And you're basically, it's like being back in the UK. I'd only worked a couple of simple jobs back home. I'd work retail, I'd work construction, I worked a bit of hospitality, but nothing special. I definitely didn't have any specific qualifications. I didn't go to uni. I didn't have any specific skills. But I was able to move to Australia at the age of 21. I lived in Sydney, I lived in Perth, I lived in Adelaide, I did my farm work near Brisbane. Everywhere I went, I managed to find a job within a couple of weeks, and this is from someone who doesn't have that much experience. Now there is a difference. If you're looking to move permanently to Australia, it can get a lot more complicated, and generally if you're looking to move there permanently, you do need to have skills in a specific job role because they'll be looking to sponsor you and potentially keep you in the country. So if you're looking to stay there longer than 3 years, it can start to get a little bit more complicated, because yeah, you might need some specific skills in order to work in certain areas. However, if you're on a working holiday visa, which is the easiest way for you to spend 3 years in Australia, generally you don't need any experience at all. You can get any job you want. And a lot of people, I feel like in the UK, don't realise how easy it is. They see people working in Australia, and I feel like a lot of people expect that you need to have skills or whatever to go and work there, but you really don't. You can work any job you want. You can do hospitality, you can do retail, warehouse work, building work, anything you want. You can do that in Australia without any experience. Generally, the visa shouldn't be an issue at all. Occasionally, the employer can be a bit weird about employing you because of your visa. They want someone who's going to be able to stay in the country permanently. But other than that, generally it is fairly easy to get a job. So you need to get it out of your heads that you need experience to go live and work in Australia. You could, like I said, you could have never worked a job in your life and you can still go and find a job there. In fact, a lot of places in Australia are actually crying out for workers, and they're not really going to care what you've done in the past or if you're on a visa or anything like that. So yeah, it is very easy. Now I spent 2 years in Australia, the best 2 years of my life for sure. And yeah, I've learned a lot about living there, working there, stuff like that. You can check out any of my other videos about work and where you can find work, the best cities to find it, the best sort of work to find. And yeah, there's so much options in Australia. I highly recommend that you go and do a visa there. It's definitely the best thing you can do in 2025, especially if you're between, well, if you're in your 20s, but the visa ranges between 18 and 35. I highly recommend that you go and do it because you won't regret it. I definitely didn't. So thank you for watching, a very quick one today. But yeah, go and get yourself to Australia and get yourself a job, even if you don't have any experience. It is that easy.